And good morning. There I am. I hit the wrong button. So glad to see everyone. Right now it's 69 as we wait for a high. So we're going to be right around 86 today. It's going to be extremely warm. It will be nice during the daytime. We'll have periods of sunshine, and then things will start to taper off somewhere around 4 o'clock. We have severe weather lined up between 5 and, say, 11 p.m., maybe out by 10, but those are the hours that we're putting on that at this point. In a moment, we'll go in and take a look at radar and show you just how bad this is going to be. It's got several different levels, starting at a 1, a 2, all the way up to a level 4 storm. It's going to be tornadoes somewhere tonight. Let's keep in mind and pray for those who have the threat against them, and we'll show you where it is in the worst of the scenario of where things could happen. Never rule out that it couldn't happen here either. We'll show you that here in just a few moments. Already 6:32, believe it or not, this morning underway, Tuesday, April the 2nd. 4 months already gone out of a year. It's just so hard to believe it's flying. Good morning, Donna. Glad to see you joining us from Philadelphia. Miss Betty, Miss Joyce, so glad to see you, Mike Dallas and Connie. We'll be right back, and we'll get into that headlines of what's happening in America this morning. Right now, let's go to Collinsville.
One of the most concerning scenarios we face in the Christian life is when we have a person around us, around our church, in our life who seems to be a follower of Jesus. They've made a profession of faith, they were baptized, they attended church faithfully, maybe even served in some capacity, but then sometimes slowly or sometimes suddenly, they move away from the church and gravitate away from Christian people and eventually depart from the Christian faith. They no longer have a heart for God and the things of God. They no longer have a taste for spiritual things. They no longer have a mind that appreciates the truth of God. It's heartbreaking when this happens, but what are we to make of the situation? What are we to say about their spiritual condition? Now, some would say that if they prayed that prayer and got saved, then we shouldn't be concerned at all. Others would say, oh, that person was really saved and now they are really lost. Still others would say that that person only outwardly appeared to be saved and have always been lost. Well, the Holy Spirit through Apostle John helps us to decide which is the correct way to understand the situation. Speaking about people who were in the faith but later departed from the faith, we read in 1 John 2:19, they went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would have continued with us. But they went out that it might be plain that they all are not of us. So did you catch what the Holy Spirit says there? They left the faith because they were not really in the faith. If they had really been in the faith, they would have remained in the faith. And their going out of the faith makes it clear to us they were never of the faith. So beloved, it's not the one who starts out in the faith who is saved. It's the one who abides and remains until the end. So that may be true of you, and may that be true of me. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Drop in and visit with them. I'd love to have you as a guest there. Church doors will open tomorrow night there in Collinsville for Wednesday night service. Good morning to everyone. I see Jerome is up, Miss Janice, Miss Joyce Godwin visiting us back in Mississippi today. So glad to see you in town as well. As we look at headlines that are shaping America this morning, AT&T, have you seen the breach? You could be one of many that your information has been leaked to the dark web. Current customers of about 7.6 million and 65 million people that used to have AT&T, possibly their information put into the dark web. They're investigating this. A breach, somebody hacked in, stole information. The dark web is dangerous. And of course, they're contacting customers left and right, letting them know should they be concerned and who was affected by that. All I can say about that. Let's see, Florida will allow, coming up in November, statewide recreational marijuana to be put on the ballot. Are y'all for that? Florida is going to vote on it, and I'm sure that it'll come back up in Mississippi and Alabama before long. We know it will. We'll see what Florida has to say about that. Let's see here. An actor, I'm not sure if many of you remember a movie show called Boardwalk Empire. It's one of those HBO, Netflix shows. One of the main actors was hit in the head Central Park with a brick while walking. He's going to be okay, but he still got knocked in the head. Now, we've been reporting this about New York in the last few days of the sucker punching. I know know we have people in other towns that watch, and even to New York. Y'all watch this. This comes about every 2 to 3 years to where unsuspected people are walking down the street. This time, they're singling out women and striking them. Don't let anybody slip up on you. Watch that. Let's see here. Angie Harmon. Do you know that actress? Anybody remember that name? Law and Order. She was on that. Let me show you a picture of what she looks like. This is, if you Google her, this is what you see of her. She was on Law and Order and a couple other shows, been in some Lifetime shows. She ordered some grocery, and apparently where she lives, it's called Instacart. Kind of like how you do Sam's or a place like that, and they bring it to your house. Well, the driver brings her groceries and threatens her dog, gets in the car, and shoots her dog. He tried to claim that the dog was going to harm him. They're not so sure about that at this point. They're investigating it. That's awful.
That's terrible.
We used to have an old saying of run if he growls at you. Get away from him. But, maybe there's more to the story than we all realize at this point. But he did shoot it. I don't know word yet how the dog is doing. The company has said they do not tolerate it, and the person who did it has been suspended until the investigation is complete. I had forgotten about this. This was a few years ago. Well, actually, it was last year when this went on. We had it was in California. A girl had been kidnapped. Let me see if I can find her name. Savannah, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Grazino. She was kidnapped. The driver of the car that she was driving was run off the road. She jumps out of the vehicle and starts running toward the police because she's scared. She was 15. She was gunned down by police. I don't even have answers for that. Now, were they yelling, stop? Yes, they were, but she was 15. She was scared. We'll see where all of this goes. We'll head to court, and they've released the helicopter footage to this, and it's disturbing. Bless it. You remember the people that bumped into a bridge and destroyed it? They're saying they're not responsible for the bridge. Imagine that. We'll see what happens. They're demanding it be capped at $46 million. That probably won't even pay for a span of the bridge the way things cost now. Not to mention the lives that were lost. What, 6, 8 people? 6 that we know of that possibly have lost. Oh my gosh, this is bad. Now again, the United States, as Joe, in which he should be as president, said we'll replace the bridge, worry about where the money comes from later, and that is what should happen. Disturbing, but the company already saying they're not going to pay for it.
There's a senator that.
A senator? Done what?
Yeah, his wife owns the company that built the ship.
Ooh, Odie says a senator's wife owns the company that built the ship.
Stood up there and talked and got lost. Starts with an M.
Starts with an M. I'm not sure I know him. Huh, we'll have to look all that up.
Yeah.
Tie-ins. Political. Do y'all remember the girl Shannon Daltrey? Do y'all remember her? She is, and I watched something else about how people handle this. She's got stage 4 cancer. She's been in a lot of TV shows. A very sweet young lady. She's planning her own funeral and getting ready for this. I watched a few weeks ago of a woman who had the same thing, and 2 weeks before her death, she had like a live memorial with friends before she passed away to say her goodbyes to them. Shannon, boy, cancer is awful. There's no other way to word this. No respect is where I go next. LSU, we call you out. Have y'all seen this? LSU stars, as they were getting ready for basketball, I believe it was ladies, left the court right before the national anthem was played. Got nothing for you now. Absolutely nothing. That's my 2 cents on that. How do you feel about that? It's a complete disgrace. There's no other way to word this. National anthem. It shocks me that people feel the urge to do something like that. as we go to our next story of our last living survivor of the USS Arizona that was attacked at Pearl Harbor, has passed away at the age of 102. You see, all of this ties together. So many people gave their lives to that flag, that national anthem, and yet we have people that think they are somebody disgracing that. And that's the way I feel about it. You may not look at it the same way I do. We'll be right back as we'll get into your forecast, find out where those storms are going to be tonight in relation to where you live. All that's next as we begin our day.
The Preserve at Meridian is the premier senior living community in the Meridian area, offering independent living cottages, assisted living, and maintain their independence and pursue an engaging lifestyle with a robust activities calendar, personalized care programs, wellness activities, restaurant-style dining, and much more. Call or visit us online today at preserveatmeridian.com to schedule your personal tour.
Welcome back. Let's go to radar and let's talk about first, show you the large map of where everything is going to occur today, times, and what to expect. Let's pull up radar here now. Here's what we've got so far. This is the threat that we're going to see tonight. They've expanded this. This now takes in Hattiesburg all the way down to Biloxi, goes west over to just on the outskirts of Jackson, Mississippi, up through the Delta. Now, just east of Starkville is now a level 3. Now, this includes West Point, all of these areas, and taking in Corinth to the state line. This will take in Birmingham, Gadsden, Anniston, a level 3. Tornadoes are very likely. Now, as we look at the Meridian area, this goes all the way back to Jackson as we look at this. See this? Pelahatchie all the way over. This is a level 2. Can tornadoes happen here? It absolutely can. Quitman. All of these areas, Wayne County, Laurel, Hattiesburg, we'll be here watching all this as it comes across, and we watch Jasper and Smith counties as well with this, all of this area. But right here at Columbus is where it picks up and changes to that level 3. Now let's back out and show you this. This is very serious area. Murfreesboro, Nashville. As we get further up here just to the northeast of Bowling Green, when we get into Kentucky, Evansville, Indiana, sitting here just to the east of there. You ever been through Elizabethtown, Louisville, Kentucky? This is where it's going to get really, really bad tonight. This will stretch all the way up here to Canton, Ohio at a level 4. Now, they're really thinking something's going to happen here. Wheeling, West Virginia, y'all be on your tippy toes. Columbus, Ohio, all of these areas, and just to the northwest of Charleston, West Virginia. Frankfort, Kentucky, and Ohio could be very hard hit tonight. We'll watch this. And again, you cannot rule out East Mississippi, West Alabama also getting some of this storm damage. Now, what we're expecting is for this, and let's pull this up here what the National Weather Service is telling us. We'll jump ahead to this and come back and look at the other stuff, but I want to get into our times here of what we've got what the National Weather Service is showing us. Here's what we've got tonight for the immediate area. And again, they've updated this. The National Weather Service just hadn't done their map. This stretches further over now. But the timeline still at this point being 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. What we're being told is we should start seeing showers a little after 4 p.m. The threat of severe weather will move in somewhere around 5 o'clock. Hopefully, we'll be moving out by about 10:30, but they're going to give it till about 11 o'clock, and it will move on toward Alabama. And they'll have it through about midnight there on the western side there. This is the timeline that we're watching here. And again, level 2 here all the way up to Jackson now. As we looked at that current map, this is updated as we look at what's going on with Alabama. They're a little bit quicker always from the National Weather Service on that side in Alabama as we look at this. So we're seeing 6 p.m. to midnight as Mississippi will start at 5. The severe weather could begin in Alabama around 6, and they'll do it till midnight where we're cutting it off at 11 o'clock in the state of Mississippi. We'll be here behind the scenes watching all of this. Now, don't be fooled as we'll throughout today have sunshine. It will look kind of good. We got a little bit of a fog this morning, but it will change as the day gets on into the day. It will change just a little bit there. Let's get further into our forecast now and see what else we've got going on.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Those record highs, record lows. Here we go. Back in 06, it was 88 degrees today. Our coldest day was set in 92. Do y'all remember that? 92. That's starting to sound like a long, long time ago. 30 degrees back on that date. And this is what we've got for today, 85 to 86 for our high. We should see heavier showers, as you'll show here on the map here, as we get into Winston County, toward Columbus. These areas there is what we're looking for. As we go east into Bama, kind of the same figures we'll see here, that heavier rain there in Hamilton, Fayetteville, Jasper, and those areas there, as we wait for the storms to roll in after 4 o'clock. So keep that in mind as we move about today. It'll be nice until then. Here's what we've got forecast-wise of temperatures as we look at the 10-day outlook. Warmer weather. Look at this coming in from Texas. We're already warm, but it could be just a tad more. And we'll get that as we glance at this. And our 7-day forecast shows us reaching 85 today. Now, as this rain moves out and this storm goes through, we're going to drop into the 60s beginning tomorrow. But 0% chance of rain. We'll get back to 69 by Friday. Over the weekend, we're looking at 70. What a beautiful day. And we have so many events that are going to be going on this weekend. So you can do it all there. Sunday, even a little bit better, as we'll get to 76. The outlook for next Monday looks to be 78. We'll go another week into this, and showers will begin somewhere around the 9th. And we'll have those through about Tuesday through Friday, have a little break there, and have a cloudy sky on the 13th. On Saturday, a week off, and then we'll roll back into more showers there, as April seems to bring these, don't they? Just can't shake them. Good chance of rain each day there. Now, this is our fishing forecast. Chet's Paint and Body sends us out to the fishing hole. Today, somewhere around 7:30, it will be great, all the way through about 9:30. Not bad at all there. Next time will be probably after dark. Is 7:50 still daylight? Odie, is it
Yes,
fading
it's
a little bit?
daylight, yeah.
You could have about 10 minutes worth there before it gets dark on you. Our wind's going to be south-southwest, 10 to 15, with gusts of about 30 miles an hour. So not a day to burn whatsoever. You can think about it, but don't do it. Stay away from it. Volunteer fire departments need to stay at the house and wash some cars. Be a great day for that before it rains, right? No burning is the aspect that we're putting out there. Coming up, we'll find out more about East Mississippi Connect. Have you gotten it? Fast internet at the house? We'll have some of those guys coming by to talk with us this morning. Maybe Julia will drop in. We'll see. That's coming up a little after 7 as we'll get the morning show underway. And we'll tell you all about the headlines. A suicide has happened, a pretty bad wreck. All of that coming up at the top of the hours. We'll bring you the local on the way with Scotty Ray and Odie. Don't miss out on a moment. It begins here at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.